Good morning, everybody. I hope you are doing well. I wanted to again post this article here because it just reinforces the day and age that we live in. I will get on Facebook Live here in a minute. Uh, Let me invite some folks on. Inviting. Hold on. Inviting people. Good morning, everybody. I'm inviting folks to come on. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. I'm gonna, kind of talk about this and, what I think and maybe some people, I've had to delete a lot of people who support Special Olympics. I mean, guys, that's the way it goes. And I want to talk about something today. The Insider, it's a very legitimate article. And I am hopefully going to partner with this magazine to also tell my story. Since they've already done some stuff on Special Olympics, they've done and talked about some of they're a magazine. They don't need Special Olympics. They have millions of dollars. I talk to people there, and the stuff that continues to come out about Special Olympics, it's shocking. And people can tell me that it's not true. No, it's very true. And a lot of the stuff that I dealt with in their organization, it's sad when you think about a black man who was killed by police, and he's telling them that he can't breathe. The same thing when I was in Special Olympics, and I asked and I cried out to their staff members to deal with the racism and hatred that I was dealing with as a black person by Victoria Lee Martin and her family. They laughed at me and kicked me out of their organization. And this virus has taught them a lesson that ugly will come back to bite you, and you know what. And I could care less if the staff members for Special Olympics never work again. I don't care. Tim Martin, Everett King, and Dalton Hill. I don't care about y'all. Y'all came out here to my house and, out here where I live at a Fuzzy's restaurant and talk to me any kind of way and whatever. At the end of the day, your organization is in the news for racism. Your organization is in the news for raping people. These are things that you can no longer run from. And I just tell people to look that stuff up. I tell people to look up things that, you don't have to make up things. When you start researching stuff on the internet about organizations, then you look at stuff like this, that's shocking, And at the end of the day, there's no way around that, and Special Olympics, it really is the new plantation. Why is it the new plantation? I got in an argument with a woman. And I said, look, ma'am, you're white, I'm black, bye. There's nothing you can say to me. Your children are taken care of by you. 40-year-old kids are taken care of by their mother, and they still call them children. I'm 34 years old and needing money in my pocket. Special Olympics is the new plantation because they don't pay you. You're not getting paid. You don't make money. They don't believe in you getting a job. They don't want you to have anything. I gave 28 years of my life to deal with rape at the hands of their people when I was a child. I don't dress like a boy for nothing. Let me repeat that again. I don't dress like a dude for nothing. I dealt with shit in my life at the hands of their organization. I've had coaches put their hands on me and shit like that. Even when I was younger, it's sad. The things that I've had to deal with, and articles like this reinforce what I'm saying. Special Olympics is the next cult or plantation, because most people, when they deal with rape, cannot do nothing, fight back, or speak out. Special Olympics should be federally investigated and shut down. They don't believe in paying for anything. I just found out from the federal government that Special Olympics did not pay my medical when I was hurt, and that the government would go after them because they lied in 2014-15 when I got a concussion while playing for them. I got a concussion and had serious injuries. I ended up in a hospital in Waco, Texas with over $30,000 or greater that my insurance had to pay, which the hospital, I got off the phone, amen, yesterday. And I got off the phone with the hospital, and they're not lying. They provided me records and proof, and hospital could be going after Special Olympics because I told their organization that anything that I find, I will also be reporting that to my attorney. I've suffered serious injuries while participating in Special Olympics, which is a modern day cult. Instead of paying for my medical bills, they told me to use my coverage and leave them the you-know-what alone about it. Special Olympics has never done anything to promote or help me except for take from me. They have never tried to invest in me financially in any way. I've never won prize money of any kind. I've never gotten any money of any kind. And most people in Special Olympics, they get help from their parents or, their parents. And I don't get that kind of help, and I didn't want to be a part of something that is becoming a modern day cult. It really is. You're told not to speak out. I will get on Facebook Live here in a minute and continue this subject because I think it's important with what just happened to a black man on national television. And I will be talking about this subject for some time because it continues to happen and people turn a blind eye to stuff. These are things that you don't lie about. I didn't lie about racism. I did not lie about what happened to me. You cannot make up articles and make up stuff. I will be contacting this magazine that you see right here. And I'm going to tell my story and what has happened to me while being an athlete in Special Olympics. It truly is modern day slavery. No one said that they make you participate. Didn't say that. I said they don't pay you. I'm 34 years old, and there was times when I was in Special Olympics, I ain't have food to eat and things like that. In debt because of Special Olympics. In debt because of them. In debt. And so, I look at my life as a black person and know that my life does not matter. Every king is a black person like me. And just sat there and didn't say nothing. Because you're afraid to lose your job. No, you don't have to worry about that. Because when stuff gets out, people start losing their jobs. I don't have to contact nobody's job. Whatever king did, it was wrong. You heard me cry out when a girl called me racist names and y'all didn't do nothing. You heard me cry out when I told you that a girl called me a nigga and threatened my life and threatened to kill me and my family. All y'all do is cover up, and you're not going to continue to be able to do that. And to deal with what I dealt with at the hands of their organization, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget a girl telling me that I don't like you because you're black. I hate black people. When somebody can call you a nigger like it rolls off the tongue like it's nothing, then you later find out, is my life really valued as a person? And that answer is no. My life was never valued, even as a child when I was in Special Olympics. I was always treated differently even then than other people. There was always tasks put on me that were not put on other people. I picked up trash. I did things, went to the Wings game and promoted Special Olympics and promoted it to the best of my ability. And that is not good enough. Doing the right thing so you think it's good enough, it's not with them. You get excoriated for standing up for yourself because you don't want to be called a nigger or racist names. You get excoriated and called a complainer when you're a child and you talk about being raped by their organization, and they back then called me stupid and retarded. I was, and so because I was in special ed, and that is how Special Olympics feels about people, that when you're in special education, they can take advantage of you. And I'm fixing to let the state know. No. I would not let Special Olympics into my schools. I would not. No. They can't keep you safe from a virus. No way. There's too much. But the biggest thing in my life that I have dealt with while participating in their program, I dealt with rape as a child. That's a crime that they told me to shut up about and don't tell anybody. And if I did, I was banned for life. Same thing they told me when a girl threatened my life, said that if you talk about this over the internet, we're going to ban you. They did just that. So why wouldn't they have told my grandmother the same thing? My grandmother did not lie to me. Special Olympics told my grandmother that they didn't want to hear about this. Yeah, my grandmother ain't living no more. My grandmother ain't stupid. And it's like all the things are adding up. Special Olympics is a cult, and people need to know that. And I will continue to say that, because it is. A lot of people in Special Olympics are retarded, cannot speak for themselves. A lot of them cannot. A lot of them live with their parents. No one is really independent because they don't teach that. They don't believe in you being independent. They believe in you working a 9-to-5 job. But you don't get paid. They want you to pick up trash and do a lot of other things, and you don't get paid for that. I'm a swimmer. I don't want to do this. And then they get mad at you. No, it's not my job to look after athletes. It's not my job. I'm not getting paid for this. Special Olympics had me doing tasks that I'm not getting paid to do. It's not my job to look after other people. It's not my job. Special Olympics put tasks upon my life that I never asked for. Again, it's not my job to look after athletes. That's not my job. It has been the worst experience of my life and what I've had to deal with. And when I look at everything in my life and what has transpired, racism is certainly real. Articles don't lie. It's very real. You look at things in your life and it's like, man, articles, they don't lie. At all. They do not lie. Especially from a prominent magazine like this one. I look at my life and say to myself, I don't want to be a modern day slave, but what choice do you have when the sport that you love? I mean, I like swimming. That was the only place at the age of, in my 30s, that I could swim. But I no longer want to do that anymore either, because I've lost the desire to do it. And that's sad. I've lost the desire to swim because it's too much work and I have to put food on my table. Those are realities that Special Olympics they do not live those realities. They don't live the realities of, I have to pay my bills. I have to eat. I have to buy clothes. All of those things, most people in Special Olympics are sheltered from the world. That's a fact. They tell you that your mom's going to take care of you. Your parents are going to take care of you. But then when you speak up and say, I want a job and I need money, that comes across as complaining to them. As a black person, I gave 28 years of my life to them only to continue, and I dealt with racism. Those are things that can't be ignored at all. And you can't turn a blind eye anymore. I think for me, uh, I have to speak the truth and what I don't want to be. I don't want to be a slave. I don't want to do something that doesn't put money in my pocket. And when I ask for money or even a stipend from Special Olympics, they lied and told me they would try to put together a fund for me. Never did that either. Everett King told me that. He also a lie. Dalton Hill has told me, well, we'll try to help you. You didn't. Try is not good enough. You didn't. My talents, my life is essentially like modern day slavery. Can anybody imagine working any job and you don't get paid? You working 8 hours a day and things like that and you don't get any money. That's why I say that Special Olympics is the new plantation. Look it up. Nobody gets paid to do that program. Nobody. You don't make no money you don't make any money doing Special Olympics. I'm 34 years old. I told a coach, I'm not doing this forever. And I'm not. I'm not getting paid. What money is there in something like that when you're not making any? You know what I mean? Forget volunteering. I'm 34 years old. I don't want to volunteer. I need money in my pocket. And that's what it is. That's what life is. When you need money in your pocket, and Special Olympics cannot provide that. And when I ask for certain things, I come across as complaining or begging. Well, when your staff raped me, I came across as complaining or begging then. It's no different. That is a crime that y'all told me to shut up about. Racism is something that y'all told me to shut up about. Told me that you didn't want to hear anything about what happened on the trip that was negative. Racism was very negative. The Nazi salute that I got from homegirl, very negative. Special Olympics supports racism because they tell you to shut up about it. They support rape because they tell you to be quiet about it. They don't want you going to the police because they kicked me out. I got kicked out September 18th, 2019, went to the police and got kicked out for that. Got kicked out because I went to the police and told them about a girl who threatened to kill me. Special Olympics, I guess they called them. Special Olympics said, we don't want you back. They kicked me out and homegirl got reinstated. She gets to play whenever they start. And I look at that and I say that's because she's white. The girl that got reinstated, she has rich white parents. And it doesn't matter if you're white. If you have rich parents, you can do whatever you want. And she said that. She said that she could kill me and nobody would find me because she has rich white parents. That's not okay. And she believed that. And Special Olympics allowed for her to be racist to me. They sat there in a recording talking about, well, we'll take it to the highest court. You didn't know. You didn't do anything for me. And I hope that the people who came out to my house, I hope you do lose your jobs. I hope you understand what it's like not to have and lose your jobs. I hope y'all understand what it's like to live in poverty and struggle. Because I'm tired of being the modern day slave and told to be grateful that I had a chance to go to World Games. That's not how life works. You need money in life. Nobody gives a damn in society if you're in Special Olympics. No one cares. And I know that because Special Olympics doesn't care about the athletes. They don't care about us. We are modern day slaves. That is what we are. And people can get mad at me or whatever. But I'm so tired of the racism and stuff that I see on television toward black people. And we get killed simply for being black. Simply for being black is a curse in the United States. And it's frightening. And there are times that I wish in my life that I could change the color of my skin. Because the way I was treated in Special Olympics. A girl told me that she was going to push me off a balcony and kill me. I'm going to repeat that again. A girl told me that she was going to push me off of a balcony and kill me. Now, I can't put my hands on nobody that's retarded. I'm not mentally retarded. I have a vision issue. And what took place in Special Olympics, it was horrific. And racism has not left this country. And it never will until people stand up and fight back. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to court. I'm going to sue Special Olympics. There is no more running and saying, you can do whatever you want to me or kill me. I'm tired of being talked to by staff and people like I'm trash. Special Olympics is a joke, and it is the next plantation of the future. They will never pay you or your children. They will use you on ESPN and whatever network. I was on ESPN, Channel 5 News, Swim Magazine, The Sun Times for Waxahachie, all of that. All of that. And I kept my promise to promote their organization to the best of my ability. And what did I get? Kicked out. You don't have athletes that can do what I do without their parents. A lot of athletes can't even speak for themselves but make fun of me. A lot of them speak like that but make fun of me. So I don't care. I don't care if people's feelings are hurt. Because the ones that talk like that throw around the word nigger. They're taught that. That's a taught thing. Ain't no person that talk like that. They learn that from their parents. You learn the word nigger from somebody. And people don't care. Special Olympics never care. Racism and rape is in their DNA. Look it up. People think I'm lying. Go to the internet. This ain't the 80s. Go online. It's sad that and people thought I was lying. Special Olympics is not like that. But there are articles that talk about it. Amen. So I am going to get on Facebook Live here in a minute, and I'm going to pick this subject right back up because it needs to be talked about. You don't make up the things that I have. No, sir. You don't make up being physically hurt. Hospitals don't make that up. Hallelujah. It's like you dig deeper, and you have people that work at hospitals and places that now can help you and verify stuff by law. Hospitals, that lady said, we have nothing to gain. We're a multi-million-dollar hospital. So at the end of the day, that lady told me when they found my records when I got hurt in Special Olympics, she said, you're not making that up. No, I am not. No, I'm not. You don't make up stuff like that. You don't end up in an emergency room and your mom having to drive you in the back of her pickup truck because Special Olympics essentially left me laying on the field and did not want to call an ambulance for me because I later found out that would have went on their insurance. I later also found out from the hospital that Special Olympics lied about paying for my injuries also when I got hurt. Those things have also been reported to the government because their program abuses people. Special Olympics needs to be investigated and shut down by the government. It's just as simple as that. How do you receive government funds and money and can discriminate against somebody because they are black and threaten their lives? I've reported this to the government. Bam, bam, I got me an attorney. And I won't get into the details of a lot of things. But just know I am going to sue them. And we ain't playing. I'm not going to be called a nigger by Tim Martin. Everett King just sat there. He a nigger like me. And just sat there and laughed at me. You laughed at me by your actions. By kicking me out of your program. Amen. And so ugly is one of those things that come back to bite y'all in your ass. I'll repeat that again. Special Olympics is the next plantation. It really is. Because you can't speak. If you can't speak for yourself, then people can rape you, hit you, punch you, anything, because your parents aren't there. When I was at World and National Games, I had somebody grab me on my butt. But that's funny to people. Now I'm suing y'all because y'all are responsible for keeping me safe, but you allow for racism, hatred, and bigotry upon my motherfucking life. Burn, burn. Special Olympics allowed for things to happen to me at the hands of other people. Amen. And ugly will come out. The truth will come out. And I know that. When you experience crimes and rape and things like that, that's a crime that your organization told me to shut up about when I moved here in 2000. Moved here to Fort Worth from Ellis County. Y'all told me to be quiet about that. Went to the police because I figured that would be a start. You can't convict a dead person. So criminal charges can't do that. Only thing you can do is sue somebody civilly and those who hired the idiot. Doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, that is Special Olympics for you in a nutshell. They do not believe in helping anybody. And I'm not going back to Special Olympics. With a coronavirus, they'll probably have you sign some type of waiver. Like with World Games when there was a bunch of waivers they had us sign. So the next waiver that's coming out, look out for that next waiver. It'll possibly say something like this. If you catch coronavirus, we're not responsible for you. And they will probably make you secretly sign that. When you do your physicals and things like that for their program. You catch coronavirus, Special Olympics is going to tell you that they're not responsible for you. Why do I know that? Because when I got a concussion and I was laid out on a field, no one from their organization showed up, so they felt like they weren't responsible for me. But I got hurt on their field of play in 2014. They told me to shut up about it then, but hospital records don't lie. And when I went to that, when I called that hospital, man, and they pulled those records, you can't run from that. Doesn't matter how long ago, hospital said we keep our records. Keep their records. Special Olympics, I believe, uses people. I believe that nothing will ever change until they are sued and put on blast on national television. It is ran like a cult. And when I spoke up about the situations and the way that I was treated, amen, I was gone. And when you can articulate like me and you can ask questions and you're not retarded and you're not dumb or any of that, they don't want people like me in that program. Because I ask questions about that program. I ask, why is it okay for somebody it's not okay for somebody to put their hands on me. That's not okay. It's not okay for somebody talking about killing me. Those things are not okay when a white girl says this. I hate you because you're black and I don't like niggers. That is what was told to me. When you are black, your life means nothing in America. It just doesn't mean anything. And you see that on television, and that's just what I see. Your life don't mean anything. And when you try to express what you want in this country, you get killed for it. In some cases, literally. And, at this time, certainly, it's one of those things that I come to God for, because you don't know. And in my life, I try to dig down deep and understand a lot of things and why I was treated the way I was. I don't know. That's something that I couldn't tell you. But I know why I was treated the way I was, and it was because I was black. And, I just reach out to the state of Texas, because it's, you can't do no more, but do what you can and tell the truth. And that's what I'm doing, and showing the truth. It's crazy. Confederate, you know what I mean? You got a Confederate flag, and y'all allowed that. I saw that stuff at Special Olympics. A girl had a Confederate flag on her bag. I ain't taking no pictures of it, nothing like that, but it's alive and well. And that's what that is. I'm finna make me some coffee, get on Facebook Live here in a minute, and I'll pick this subject up in a minute in more detail and just kind of what I think about everything, and including the guy who lost his life. I also want to give people something to think about, and when you think about Special Olympics, you have to start to look up stuff. You can't assume or think that an organization is perfect or great. You can't assume that because it's Special Olympics that they have no problems. That's not true. You cannot assume because they're the biggest organization that they have no problems and that they're perfect. I would advise people to not put your children in Special Olympics. I would advise school districts not to allow Special Olympics to, and I'll be making some phone calls with evidence and proof. And this is America. You know what I mean? I'm not saying things about Special Olympics that's not true. You can't sue me for stating what is fact. This article is a fact. You can't sue me for stating, their organization was talking about suing me. What do you mean suing me? Suing me for what? Because I'm speaking the truth? No. Special Olympics it's modern day slavery. Put my ass all over TV and ESPN and you don't pay me? That's not good. Allow a girl to call me a nigga, her and her family? That ain't cool. So, anyway, God bless y'all, man. I'm gonna make me some coffee, and I hope all of y'all have a good rest of your morning. Stay safe, guys. Have fun. The time now is 10:56, Dallas-Fort Worth. So, looking good, and finna have some fun this morning. God bless y'all, man, and be safe. And just know, racism is still alive and well in the United States. It really is alive and well. And the only way to stop that is stand up, and that's what I'm doing. I will stand up and I will crush Special Olympics. I really will. Because the evidence and stuff that I have, I can't talk about that on here, but the evidence I have, it is overwhelming. God bless y'all, and I hope you have a good day.